All right, so I'm gonna try to film this before my wife finds out that I'm filming it. I just wanna tell you about the nightmare of building a home and dealing with developers and builders and just kind of see if I'm crazy or if I do have some leg to stand on. Maybe some of you have also built a home, or if you're thinking about building a home, here's some do's and don'ts. So we've been in our home a little over 2 years now. It took us about 2 years to find a home. We were looking for homes and we'd go out and look for all the homes for sale, and then we'd always end up back in a new community thinking about building. And then one Sunday afternoon, we're driving down the street and we see that Ryan Homes, which is a builder that we love and that I grew up in, had a new neighborhood. So we're like, hey, it's Sunday afternoon, we've got nothing to do. Let's just go and look at the model and see the neighborhood or whatever. As soon as we walked in the model, we both looked at each other and said, this is the house. We bought the model home. We were probably the fourth, maybe fifth people to move in. It took a while to move in. We found out we had bad dirt. I didn't know that you could have bad dirt. I thought dirt was dirt, but apparently it was not stable. There wasn't enough of it for the house, so they had to take literal telephone poles, and like 15 of them and shove them into the ground to make our ground sturdy enough. Sorry, I just burped a little bit, I think. So that delayed us probably 3 months in getting in. There's some other problems that came up, just normal stuff. They put our fireplace in the wrong spot, so we had to have them fix that. The day we moved in, I was looking around the house, we're doing our final walkthrough, and I said, where are my garage door openers for my car and stuff? Garage door openers? I'm like, yeah. To open the garage, you press the little button. They said, you didn't get garage door openers. You didn't check that off on the list. I have a 3-car garage. I didn't know that I was supposed to check it off. I think my exact words were, I didn't check off doorknobs, but they seem to be on every door in the house. I've never built a house before. You deal with people that have never built a house before. If they forget to check something like garage door openers and they have a 3-car garage, wouldn't you think to tell them, hey, check it? Or why didn't you check it? When I told her this, she said, well, you said you wanted to save money. This comes from the fact that we didn't put hardwood throughout the entire first floor. It's carpet in the little section of the living room. And the reason why it's carpet in that section is because they said for that 15 by 15 foot section, it would cost $5,000 more to put hardwood there. So we thought, hey, we'll keep it carpet. We'll save $5,000. We have an open floor plan, but that'll give us enough like space and definition to show that you're in a different room, and it'll just look better. And it does look better. That's how you save money. Not buying garage door openers for a 3-car garage is not how you save money. But overall, we're super happy with Ryan Homes. They were great. I love them. The guy that built my house also built my parents' house, and he remembered us from like 20 years ago. The developer of the neighborhood, not so much. Don't know him, can't find him. He kind of found out in the first year we were here that he could get more money per lot from another developer, so he made things incredibly difficult for Ryan Homes. Would hold lots even though people had paid for to start working on a home, would not release the lot, so Ryan could not start building a home. Did that to 4 homes. Just being a total asshole to kick Ryan Homes out in order to get a new developer in, which worked. Ryan Homes said, we cannot deal with you anymore. This is not good for us. That was kind of devastating because the only builder in town outside of like custom home builders, the only one we liked was Ryan Homes. They have beautiful houses. Our house is beautiful. All the other houses in the neighborhood are beautiful. They have restrictions that you can't put the same house across the street or next door to the house to give variety. You can't put in certain house on certain lots because you'll just jam it in there and it'll look bad. They have all these cool, smart things that they do to help the neighborhood look good. This new builder does not have those things. I won't say their name for several reasons, mainly because I'm afraid of my wife, but then there's also probably legal issues there too. I'll show you some of the stuff they've done. It's comical, it's depressing. I pay $600 for HOA every year. I don't have a pool, I don't have a tennis court, I don't have a park, I don't have a basketball court, I don't have anything. I'm paying HOA for the upkeep and landscape. The landscape, it took us 2 years of complaining 2 years of complaining to get them to put mulch around the beds. And when I say like put mulch around the bed, I don't mean like update the mulch. They should do that every year anyway, but there was zero mulch. Zero mulch. Here's the mulch that took them 2 years to do. Before that, it was like, you could see the irrigation. There's an irrigation line that runs all the way down the center of this. You could see it. There was zero mulch. It looks great now, except, you know, they need to work on their yard game a little bit. I'm a guy that just gets on YouTube and complains about something, but I know how to cut grass. So this is my front yard. It's taken me 3 summers to get it to look like this. Full, green, long grass. 3 summers. Finally get it done. The first week I get it done, and I'm happy with the way my yard finally looks, they go and put up this stupid retainer fence, which they do in all construction. I get why they do it, but you haven't done it in 2 years. You did it the week I got it to look good, and now it now looks like I just can't get my grass to grow the last 1.5 feet, which my line comes 6 inches off that fence. So I've actually been dealing with much more than just my grass, but now that they've added this retainer wall, it takes a beautiful yard and makes it look unfinished. This is grass that's taken care of by professional landscapers. They cut it too low. It's yellow from where they scalped it. It's not full. There's an anthill. Professional landscapers. Guy who complains on YouTube. Now I know some of you guys are saying, Matt, you're being crazy about your front yard. And you're right, I am. In my backyard, I'm having trouble in my backyard. The dirt pile next to my yard. This is not what I want to see every day. This is my view from my backyard. This amazing dirt pile. I built this amazing pergola that was painstakingly hard to build so that I would have a nice backyard to come out and look at, and not look at a giant dirt pile every day that they just keep building on top of and on top of and on top of and on top of. So much so that they've compacted a pile to drive on that pile to put more dirt on top of that pile. But my front yard has taken me 3 summers to get it right because they put so much gravel and so much extra cement under my yard that it's really made it impossible for the roots and everything to grow. So I've spent, you know, 2 summers building that second layer up of potting soil and sand. So yeah, when I spend all this money and all this time on doing it and then they immediately make it look like crap, it kind of aggravates me. So the new builder comes in, they buy up a ton of lots, and then they start, instead of waiting for people to buy a lot and pick a house, they decide to put 4 up. One's gonna be the model home, and then 3 others people can buy. The model home, they put it next to the other model home, and I get wanting to put your biggest house up as your model home, but you really have to think about the spacing of the model home. Making it look like it's jammed into a small, tiny area does not look appealing to someone wanting to buy a home. They put them on slabs instead of crawl spaces. One of the reasons why we moved into this neighborhood is because it's one of the only new neighborhoods putting crawl spaces in the houses still. We could have bought the same house in a different neighborhood and had twice as much yard for 30 grand less if we wanted it on a slab, but we wanted it on a crawl space. So we paid 30 grand more and we sacrificed yard. All right, I'm gonna take you into a couple of these houses and show you just what's going on. We're gonna go in the model home first. There's one patch. And here's some more patches from where they had to find where the electrical was bad. Then your beautiful backyard that's constantly flooded because there's nowhere for the water to drain. Don't forget all your spacious living over here. They had the second house locked up actually, so I couldn't get into it to show you the view from your living room and your master bedroom. But I went outside and I was standing right outside the window and filmed so you could see the problem. So for me, the smart thing to do would have been to have put the shorter, wider house on that lot to give you more of a backyard, and the longer, thinner house on the other lot so that you didn't get these terrible backyard situations. Then we find out that they don't have a design team. It's just kind of left up to the on-site real estate agent to make these decisions. So he's the one that put the model home there that's way too big. He's the one that put the house up the street that's way too long for the lot to where they have zero backyard. Then we find out that it's a floating model. Yes, this is the model home, but if someone wants to buy it, they can buy it and they'll just build another model home. The other part of that is that because it's not the official model home, they're not putting all the bells and whistles in it. They're not maxing it out like they do with most model homes. So they've just shoved a big house in a small space for no reason. Okay, I'm gonna try to take you up to show you the lot outline, the house outline on these lots. I probably shouldn't stand on this. Where those wooden spikes are with the orange on them, that's where the end of their house is. And then another 5 feet is literally to the trees. So their yard is 5 feet wide. Now this house over here, I don't know if you can see how far back the orange spikes go until you get to that little wooded area before you get to someone else's yard. And this is gonna be like a 3,000 to 4,000 square foot house, each one of these. So I'm in what it'll eventually be their backyard, and right here is a house corner. So this is their backyard. This one over here, I mean, of these 3 lots, this has got the best backyard. As you can see over there, those like 6 or 8 orange ribbon spikes, and then everything over until you get to the wooded area. And then they've got this nice lot back here. So they actually did a little bit of planning there, or at least the homeowner did. I think people are just buying these homes and they're not telling them, hey, this may look good, but once you actually get into it, you're not really getting a backyard. And hey, one more time, come on, just look how good this yard looks. All right, so what do you think? Am I being crazy? Should I not be this upset? If you had this experience, is this normal? Leave a comment below and let me know. And hopefully my wife doesn't get too mad.